Hello and welcome. I am Dr. Itudumia, the lecturer for Foundation Year. Today's lecture is for one of the modules of Foundation Year, which is called Project. We are going to study and work on how to manage a business project. So on this module, you will study an area of interest related to your chosen future academic specialization. Hence, the separate content for each student will be varied and the learning will be highly personalized. Students will also be given an opportunity to explore assorted topics that their project could focus upon, and students have to work individually on their chosen project. You will be focused exclusively on existing academic literature and other secondary resources. No primary empirical research will be undertaken, but the format that students wish to present their project work in will be negotiable. So once you have done this module, you will be able to identify a suitable academic topic that is related to their field of study and plan an effective project based on existing academic literature and sources, and present and coherent account for a problem or area of interest. So after this module, you will be able to demonstrate reflection on the problems that they encountered when undertaking your research. So shall we start? Today, I'm going to discuss on how to choose the academic topic appropriately and effectively, which is related to your field of study. At the end of today's lecture, I'm quite sure that you can identify and generate the suitable academic topic that is related to your field of study and attributes and contributions of that particular suitable academic topic. So, what is a research project? In a very simple way, it is about the process of discovering on what you are interested in, but in a mathematic or scientific way. Research project delivers the answers to tackle the research questions. So basically, when the research questions have to be settled, we have to go through and get the result through exploration or experimentation to give the evidence which is acceptable. We can provide the result based on our intuition or our own idea, but we're not. We try to find out the real outcome by scientific methods and deliver the actual results based on it, whether it is right or wrong for ourselves. So then let's move to the next slide. It is formulating and clarifying topic. First of all, when you are trying to formulate the research title, the first thing you have to think about is the contributions. We do research for sake of getting benefit to our external stakeholders, internal stakeholders, or public or environment. So contributions of the research is one of the most important factors to consider in generating ideas, objective, and formulating research questions. And at the end, it will lead to complete the perfect research proposal for you. So in the next slide, it is about the attributes of the good topic with which characteristics, how we call the topic is feasible. So the topic is feasible, good or relevant or etc. So the very first factor is your interest. So in other words, researchers' interest is the topic. The researchers must have the much interest in their topic. Research is a very long process and it takes time. Believe me that it really takes time to finish it with or without the time frame. So the research must be fascinated by the topic, or the researcher must be fascinated by the topic to get the perfect outcome or to get the complete result. So to get the perfect outcome or the complete result, the researchers need to understand what they are doing and how they are undertaking the research. Research has to be done based on different methods and different approaches and could have limited time frame. So for example, while we are doing a research, while we are using some kind of approach, so in the middle of the research, if we see that that method is not very feasible or the method is not very validate, and if the method is not doesn't have the validity for this kind of research, we have to change it. We have to use the different methods and we have to use the different approaches based on the limited time frame. So we have to adjust it. And there are some factors to be considered, like financial funds, resources, and the sources of data. Like although we could be either we are basically based on the primary sources or secondary sources. It depends on, like we could be accessible to that kind of sources of the data. So there are, as I said before, there are some other factors to be considered, like financial funds and the sources of data and the reliability of the data and so on. So the researchers have to consider those factors beforehand, or while we are undertaking the research during the time period too. So to conclude, to identify the research topic must be defined concisely and precisely as a research aim, objective, and questions. And it must have the contributions to individuals or groups or organizations. And as I mentioned before, it will be either internal stakeholders, external stakeholders, or the public, or even larger, it could be efficient, or it could be contribute for the world. And the other factor is the time frame. So time frame is the important factor to be considered when undertaking research. The last factor is that the research should be original for every researcher. So the factor that the researcher have to consider is, rather than discovering the topic that has been done before, you should think about the topic, problems, or issues, or the gap among society, or for the world, or for the organizations, for your organizations, or for the a particular industry in a business, in a real business world. So those factors will be, so those kind of how to identify a problem statement, how to consider the gap, how to consider the rationality. So those factors will be discussed later. So I hope this video will be very interactive and helpful for the students who are trying to start the research project, or for some people who are working to identify the research topic. And thank you for your time.